Put your sweats on for me, yeah. 'Cause I got the plug, I'll make it call for green. Oh, I'm talking late night for ya. Let me lay a great time on ya. Don't hesitate, no, don't ya, no. Just say you will come through and chill, oh chill. Just say you will come through and chill. Oh. Said I wanna love all night, singing. Yeah. Said I wanna love all night. Yeah. We out here tripping.
Hey guys, hey y'all.
Yeah, V used to always say, hey y'all, hey guys. I know you guys are happy to see we have another female in the building.
And she's beautiful.
Yes, she brought Witchy Wednesdays to Wet Wednesdays to Finesse and Chill. Make sure you tell a friend that we moved to Wednesdays. No more Finesse Mondays. We are on Wednesdays, but how fitting is it? Because you do Witchy Wednesdays.
Yeah. How crazy is that?
Yeah.
We actually got to do the coolest motherfucking interview today. You guys are not even prepared for what we have in store because we're going a little bit out of the line today, and that's okay.
Right,
Let's
exactly. So, first of all, tell everybody your name, where you're from, where they could find you on Instagram.
Yes. Hello, everyone. My name is LIANA Gabrielle. I was born and raised in the Bronx.
Beautiful name.
Thank you. Thank you, girl. I'm currently living in West Harlem. Hello to all my NYC people.
Yes.
Yes.
New York is definitely in the building.
My Instagram is LIANA Gabrielle X3, LIANA GABRIELLEX3.
Okay. Got a little jingle for that. If you guys go on my page, I just tagged her. If you guys want, you can go on through that way. Check out her page, follow her, hit her website. I was actually on your website. And I saw you have a few tips here and there. I was looking at the eyeliner tips.
Yes.
You were talking tarot. I was all in it, girl. So, ladies, if you're tuned in, make sure you go to her page, click her website. It's definitely worth checking it out. So, now, before we get into our girl talk, because believe me,
We got
y'all gonna want to hear what we got to say.
We're going deep today.
We're going deep. We're gonna run through this week's news real quick. So, V was telling us about Nicki Minaj's mom.
It's really so messy, but she's trying to not make it messy.
Messy
but,
boots.
So let's get into it. I don't know if you guys have heard that she's kind of doing a tell-all interview about her son's case. If you guys didn't know, he's currently in jail.
Jelani. Jelani is his name, yeah.
Yes.
Jelani. He's currently in jail right now for accusations of rape on his 11-year-old stepdaughter.
That's
So,
insane. And
that's
like
crazy.
we were talking before, and I'm like, you know, they accused him of touching her, and we got to the bottom of it. No, there was semen found
Yes.
on her, so it was
Yes.
like full blown. He definitely was found guilty.
Of something. There
Of
was
something
something going on there.
Semen just doesn't end up in someone's clothes for no reason.
And it
Exactly.
wasn't like, you know, because even me, and I'm ashamed for even doing it as a female, as soon as I heard it, I was like, oh, maybe somebody lied about their age, like the 6'9".
You hear about that a lot now.
You
yes.
think, you know, the girl, you think she's 20 and you find out she's like 16 and that's a rape charge. But in this case, this was Nicki Minaj's brother's their kid that they were raising, the stepkid, their kid of whoever they were dating at the time. So now the trial went on. I remember before there were issues where when the trial was on, something else in the news was going on, or like they would like bypass it and you didn't even know he was in trial. So now
It's just
a filler.
All I'm saying is the timing of this is kind of questionable. Because as you all know, Nicki Minaj is gonna drop her album. She said she's, you know, taking a week longer. This interview is gonna be on the 8th, I believe, or the 8th or the 10th, and then the 8th or the 11th is when this interview is gonna air, and Nicki's album happens to drop dead center right in the middle on the 10th.
Yes.
So is this? What do you guys think? Is this like some Kardashian like story,
Like a
like
cover
boom,
up?
like
I think it's her label. You know, she's a major artist. She's signed to a major label. Bad publicity can really ruin record sales.
That's
You
true.
know, especially after she got read for filth by Forbes. You know,
Oh, so wait. So what
Wait,
happened?
do
'Cause
tell.
we need
What
to
did
know.
Forbes-
What
yeah.
did Forbes
they
say?
read her for filth.
Yeah.
Basically saying that her collaboration with Tekashi was a very pathetic attempt at trying to stay relevant and trying to connect to the younger generations and the younger rappers. So,
I mean,
you know, they're calling the whole album queen. They're saying it's not going to be worthy. It's going to be her trying to do something that she doesn't.
Sweats on, put your sweats on for me.
And you know what's funny that you say that is when she first started with this album, because you know if you go on Apple Music you could pre-download it before it comes out. I downloaded this album like last month
oh wait,
and
what?
it still hasn't. What happens is you can download it before it comes out, but only 1 or 2 songs will be available. So her single with Ariana Grande was available,
The bed.
right?
Okay.
But nothing else was. So that's how I knew the album still hasn't dropped, because when I go to check it I'm like, her album still didn't come out, or else the songs would you be able to click it.
Everything would be already.
I mean,
So-
it comes down to the fact that either people are going to be talking about the brothers' court case or they're going to be
Right.
talking about her album.
And
So
then
they're like,
word-
screw it, we'll just put them both on the
Word
same
on the
day.
street is there's a certain song that they use a sample from a Tracy Chapman song, and they needed to get the okay from her, and they couldn't locate her, or they couldn't get her to say yes, and it was already on the album. The album was already printed, covers
so
were
that's why
already
it's
put in
getting
it.
pushed down a week.
So they kept pushing it.
Copyright laws.
Yeah, because if she would have put it out, Tracy Chapman could have called up and be like, "I'm suing."
Then
Like,
her
and just
label's
waited.
responsible. She wouldn't even be personally responsible. Her label is held
Is
responsible. for
responsible.
that.
Yep. So they would have to pay for that, not her.
By the way, guys, for those of you studying law, entertainment law, good money. Good money.
Good
Really?
money.
Good money.
See,
Good
and that's
money.
that's an outlet I didn't even think of. Like I'm all into the entertainment, but I didn't even realize that the law
goes
itself
into
is its
it.
own
When you
little
get a
separate-
record deal, those
Right.
contracts, there's somebody in an office typing all those up, guys.
Right.
The law goes into everything. So here and there, it comes in, it happens.
Yes.
So I mean, all right, Nicki Minaj. I don't know if this is a publicity stunt. I don't know if it's to boost up album sales, because at least people are talking. So if people
Right.
are talking about you,
Then you're
whether
still
it's good or
relevant.
bad,
Right.
exactly, you're still out there. Now, do you girls think that she's kind of like whack in a sense for trying to do something different, or how do you guys view this whole 6ix9ine Fifi?
I'll let you guys go first because I'm a Nicki fan.
Okay.
So
I
have
will
like
definitely
a,
begin.
yeah.
then.
So
I will
you
definitely.
guys-
I will
so you
definitely
guys go
begin.
first.
I have developed a certain bias towards Miss Minaj.
Okay.
Her music is always very sex positive and very feminist and very, yeah, girl, shake your ass and do you live your life. But then she goes on to saying like, oh, you know, but I hope my music doesn't encourage women to aspire to all these negative acts and all these negative mentalities. The whole like
so that
whole
was
life.
what she was kind of like reneging and saying that she didn't want the whole.
Then
you know,
she's like, oh,
girls
but
going
my
into
music
these
is just
stripper-
entertainment. I'm nothing like that in person, and know your worth. And I've been engaged 3 times, and I still didn't give in. You know, that's why it's like, but wait, if we weren't tipping our DJs extra to play your music, where would your record sales be?
Right.
Because
Exactly.
even her mixtape, they still play those songs in the strip club.
Yeah.
That's true.
Itty Bitty, I would definitely.
80 bit,
like.
I mean, that beat is amazing. That beat
It
was
definitely
dope.
is amazing. Itty Bitty is definitely one of my favorites.
For her to be walking around the way she does, more power to her, completely confident with her body showing it off, but then to turn around and slut shame, it's really contradictory to the message that she's sending out, and
know,
it really does make her look hypocritical.
One thing that's crazy is I literally feel like she built up all of this money and all of these views and all of these fans from over sexualizing her music to now, like, you're taking it back and you're saying this is not who I am. I'm just doing no. You're gonna pick your lane and you're gonna stay in
Exactly.
Yeah, I
Or
mean,
don't
because
pick it.
if anything, that's why I like Nicki in the beginning, because she said the shit I wouldn't say.
Yes, and she
She-
wore the things that we would
Right.
never wear.
She did it, and I
And it
was
made you
like,
feel-
yeah,
The
like,
hair
you know,
colors, the crazy outfits, like, you know, and it definitely brought back a little bit of that little Kim fashion fearlessness.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
that's true.
You
like
know?
she definitely served her purpose for that time where she
Yes.
came out in that era. I think the problem started when people tried to pin everybody against each other. Like,
Yes.
just because Cardi came out doesn't mean Nicki gotta go.
Yes.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Or like when Remy came out of jail, it was, oh, let's put her and Nicki against each other. And I think that's the biggest
That
problem.
was the corniest thing ever, though.
Yeah.
Well,
I
if
feel
you
like
if you pay attention to history,
That's
it's
how
never
it
really
goes.
been 4 or 5 females hot at the same time.
But it's so
I
crazy.
mean-
Like, it's like they make you choose. So now if you're a Nicki fan, everything Cardi says is going to be corny. You're going to look at it like it's
you
corny.
can't just love both women for the fact that they're both
Right.
boss ass bitches.
And it happens like that all the time.
Yes.
But what I will say is them saying, oh, like, you know, her making a song with 6ix9ine was like an attempt to stay relevant. I definitely agree with that. I definitely agree that her album is not going to be what she thinks it is and not what we're expecting and hoping it for. Like you said, I miss mixtape Nicki.
I miss the old. Listen, I
Get
was
back
the
with Safari.
biggest. I was the
I love
biggest Nicki
the juice
fan
of Safari.
before. You know, all the extraness and all the gimmicks and all that. That's not you. Be
Like
you.
Pink Friday was beautiful. Pills and Potions was very deep, very emotional.
Right.
Called
That was
attention
her.
to a lot
I feel
of
like
issues.
that was her.
That was the real Nick.
That was the real Nicki.
I think maybe that's
I
why
believe
she
it.
went off the end and she started slut shaming. I feel like maybe she was a little salty that people weren't paying attention to her more emotional, more real, kind of heartfelt pieces, and they were kind of just
Right.
focusing
They
on
only liked
the
when
TNA.
she was talking,
But
talking
listen,
that nasty
that's how
shit.
you came into this industry, though. Like, how could you be mad?
You
That's
can't,
what
you can't
brought
shade
out.
it. Exactly. Like, you can't shade something that you profited so much of. Like, and like, I mean, honestly, the amounts of money we would tip DJs so we could hear so we could hear that Nicki song, so we could hear
Right.
that old school Kim song. Like, music has such a big influence on how much people
On
spend.
the vibe,
Exactly.
yep.
Like,
That
listen,
too.
listen to the kind of music that Forever 21 plays. That shit is always mad upbeat.
Yeah.
Not like, hey,
And when they're with their credit cards, like, yeah, I got it.
swipe. You know, music is a big part of things. When you go to the casino, like, they're not playing no whack shit. When you go to the club, they're not playing no whack shit.
Right,
Like, they
that's
want you to
true.
spend bread. Like,
And
it's
that's something we don't really
potency.
think about.
And-
And music plays a lot into what we do and what we're doing, depending on where you are.
Yes.
That's a good point.
Speaking of music and slut shaming, 50 Cent wild out. And now when Unk steps back in, we have the footage. So maybe when we go to break, we'll put up the 50 Cent video. But so what happened this weekend, right? Because I was over the weekend. We
think
saw
it
this
was,
around
yeah.
Monday. So 50 Cent was in a strip club. And it looked almost like, I don't want to say it was a private party. It just was a side stage. That's all.
They had
And-
their cute little VIP section with their
Right.
own little private stage.
So while the girl is dancing, something was going on that 50 Cent. 50 nasty, which made him then go take all of his money
Wait,
back.
so his exact words was poor customer service.
Yes, I saw it
shaking
on
my
IG.
head.
There we go.
I'm
there
gonna
we
need
go.
a refund.
There we go.
As you guys could see on the screen, you know the girl's working. She's doing her job. That's what
and
she
then
does.
gets
She's a
sad.
dancer.
She's gonna be so look
And
right when
he's
she
shaking
stopped.
all of
Look at
it.
that.
Look
Look
at
at
that
that.
shit. Like,
When she stopped and then just looked at him, I was like, oh no, no.
Like, how demeaning and how embarrassing is that?
Did he feel like she wasn't doing enough?
Maybe he says something to her and she didn't hear him over the music, or maybe he says something disrespectful and degrading and she was like, look, I'm not even gonna respond, I'm gonna just keep on shaking my ass. Like,
Right.
what he said, or sources are saying that supposedly she said something to him that he didn't like something about her having an attitude. She was, it wasn't her day or it wasn't her moment.
I'm not saying shit.
I
And
mean,
they decided to take
in,
it
in
back.
defense of all strippers, some of us just have resting bitch face. You know,
That is
some
true.
girls don't want to smile. Some girls aren't there yet. Maybe some girls, you know, they want to be like Cardi B. They want to save up money to get their teeth fixed. They're not there yet. They don't want to smile.
Right.
Like, you know, let people rock. Let people rock.
And that's what
do
I'm
what
like.
they do.
What could she have said that she would have made her take her money, take his money
Exactly.
back? Then I saw other guys were taking his money and throwing it. So if you really watch the video, there was a lot going on there.
I
was a lot,
originally
yeah.
thought that he got mad at the men that were picking the money up and rethrowing
Right.
it. I thought that's why he came in and took his
took
money
it.
back, because that I would understand.
Right,
But I was just like,
right.
I hope he like put
I
the money in
figured
a
it was
bag and
that,
gave it back.
and then he probably just told the girl like, "Yo, I'm a troll and put this on Instagram, da 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 da, and like see what happens."
My message to 50 is that
cool.
you
Must
are
have
not
right.
throwing hundreds, my love. Like, why do you feel the need to take that back? You got all this money, but you're taking back singles. Singles. That poor woman probably got mouths to feed. She probably got babies. She probably didn't even hear you over the loud music. Her feet probably hurt. Do you know that they strip in shifts? They're there from 8 p.m. to 4 o'clock in the morning.
All right.
50, you do not know how bad those feet hurt, all right? Like,
right. That's why I'm like, did he just feel like that was like a lazy twerk? Like,
I mean,
he
for real.
felt like,
I felt like that was a wholehearted twerk.
Right.
I feel like that was a wholehearted twerk.
I mean, she kinda
Did he
was
say
naked.
anything as to why he did it?
he
Poor
said
customer
poor
service.
customer service that she
Poor
was rude.
customer service.
She was rude, that she said something he didn't like.
I don't know. I feel like a lot of the rappers are used to having all the attention. Perhaps she just wasn't giving him her undivided attention. Maybe she wasn't just looking at him. She was looking at the whole crew. I've seen some entourages in clubs that they do get mad when you're not focusing on them and you're looking at everybody else that's with them as well.
I'd be like, get
Not
the
to be
strap, 'cause you don't fight
disrespectful.
for my money.
Not to be disrespectful, but they not there to hear him talk anyway, right?
Right.
So what
Very
the fuck?
true.
What are you there for? You there throwing money looking at her body.
They're independent
Right?
Right, but that's what he's
contractors.
saying. Like, they don't need to listen
Exactly.
to 50 Cent. Like,
They're not getting paid by the club. They're independent contractors. All they get are the tips that you're throwing. So to take it back is wild disrespectful, especially when it's just singles. You're probably like a millionaire right now, and you're mad about singles. And honestly, the amount that he took, to me, it only looked like 100, 200.
yeah, it was at his little corner.
Yeah, I wouldn't say 200 either.
But
Let the girl pay for her nails. I mean, seriously.
Somebody said
Sandals gotta
something
get
about
paid.
strip club etiquette.
Yes.
And they were saying that you should know that never goes down, because if they take their money back, they're escorted off the premises.
Yes.
I remember one time a guy gave me money. He walked up to me and my friend and was like, here, like for us to throw at the girls. And the bouncer was like,
Wait,
look.
what's that mean?
No, it was at Jersey
Oh,
Girls.
because we did that too.
Yeah. Yo, people be giving us money and I'm like,
I'm like, wait, I was there.
and it was at Jersey Girls once, and the bouncer came up to me and the bouncer was like, listen, I know that he gave it to you to throw at the girls, but you can't accept money here. And I'm like, but it's to throw. And he was like, they could look at that like you're taking their money.
But you're throwing it at them.
Me, my drunk ass, I get drunk, and
get
I'm
turned, we get
I'm,
turned.
I'm like the mom, even at the strip club. I
Mother
was
goose.
helping. I was
Mother
helping the
goose.
one girl. I was like, I don't want her to keep bending down to get it.
Word.
She's doing something.
Word.
And I was like moving it over for. Then I went to grab it, and another girl looked at me, and I was like, let me stop before these bitches think I'm stealing their money.
Right.
You know what I mean?
'Cause
Because
that
another
would
girl
be-
would be like, hold the fuck
Yeah,
up.
that
And
would
you're
be
like,
the
I'm
initial
drunk, you're
reaction.
drunk. Everybody's drunk. It could be a wild left misunderstanding
Yes.
for me trying to help
Why
touch
you gotta be
somebody.
bitches though?
Not the one I was helping, the one that was grilling me thinking I was stealing.
Right. We're not calling them bitches.
But
We're
is
just
that the
saying.
etiquette? Like, as soon as somebody tries to take their money back, or if they see somebody stealing somebody else's dollar, they get kicked the fuck out.
I would say that the majority of places I've been to, yes.
I think there is such a thing as strip club etiquette, because I really believe that, like, there's certain things you should and should not do at a strip club.
Absolutely.
Imagine she told 50, like, I
Absolutely.
heard you got herpes.
that would have been my salty shady ass on stage. Well, that's why I heard. Through the grapevine.
Yeah, I don't care how much you got herpes.
I'm telling you, the shade is so real. Like,
Yeah,
there's
I-
definitely etiquette. Like, you should never be as an employee or as a dancer, because dancers are independent contractors. Your employees are your bartenders, your servers.
And there was a beef for a while with
there
bartenders
was a
and
whole
strippers.
protest,
Yeah,
which was my main beef with Cardi, because she could have really had such a major voice. She could have done way more for that than Amber Rose with the slut walk. Love
Right,
Amber
right,
Rose,
right.
but Amber Rose is West Coast, Cardi's East,
Right.
and they
Yeah.
both rep the dance industry. So for these major celebs not to say anything, like Eve really was very open and honest about her experience in the strip club. And
Eve?
very, very open
You
and
don't know?
honest.
No, and you know
Yes.
she's with her like
Yes.
millionaire now, so I didn't think she
Oh,
was
yeah,
gonna
she's
step
very
in
happily
to hold it.
married.
Yes,
Oh,
very.
you don't know?
Very
Very
happy. Girl,
happily
they got
married.
pictures booed up, mad happy. He got kids. She loves them.
Yes,
Yes.
and I was like, Eve hasn't done anything for a while. My mom was like, she don't need to.
No,
she
she's
is
happily
fine.
married. Every now and then she comes out with a cute little bop, nice little dance song, and we're all like, hey.
She on The View or one of them daytime shows.
Yes,
Yeah,
is she?
Yes,
yeah.
yes. She's gone into
for her.
commentating. Yes, I love her. She definitely repped it and talked about how she was brutally honest. She would talk about how she would have to get drunk to dance and to just get through it. Like, she talked about what it was really like. When that protest happened, I was very disappointed that Cardi was nowhere to be found. Not even saying anything
Especially
about
her best friend just got locked up for some strip club shit.
Colorism is very, very big. There are clubs that don't want to hire black girls, whether it be as dancers or whether it be as bartenders.
That is 1,000% true. Like,
You know,
I've definitely seen that.
That's what the protests were about. Bartenders and, you know, we're basically saying, like, no, strippers were basically saying we're not going to go because it's only bartenders that are getting thrown money. And then to top it all off, y'all don't even want to hire colored girls. If you really look on IG and things like that, how many of those girls that are really popping on IG do you see that are dark skinned?
That's true.
There's a lot of colorism. There's a lot of prejudice, even within our own community.
They said that, and it's funny because with Cardi's friend, what is it, Star Brim, she was saying something about that too. Like on her Instagram for a while, she was saying how it was like a big, like the strippers versus the bartenders.
Yes,
and
that was huge.
Now bartenders, even though they're just serving the drinks, they'll twerk real quick while they're serving, and then if people throw money, it's a fight over whose money is it.
Yes, because management allows them to do that. Management is just like whatever makes the clients happy. You know, the customer's always right. We're gonna give them what they want.
Wait, so do you think that it shouldn't be that way? You feel like
no, I actually do not think it should be that way, because if you were bartending in a restaurant, if you were bartending in a 5-star hotel, you're not gonna be sitting there twerking. Serve your drink, be pretty, take your pictures, and call it a day.
All right.
Like, you know why? You know why? Because you're getting paid by the hour. And your tips,
and you're getting tips.
That's true.
Your tips tend to be automatic, because if it's bottle service, if it's 20% of $1,000 bottle, you know, those tips add up for them way faster than it does for an entertainer. So it's very, very difficult when club managers and owners are just like, oh yeah, let them make it rain on you too. It hurts in the long run, because guess what? They're still getting that government check, unlike the dancers.
That is very true.
It's hurtful.
If you guys just tuned in, this is Liana. Let them know your Instagram again.
Yes,
so
my
they can
Instagram
follow.
is Liana Gabrielle X3. My website is lianagabriellex3.com. I am a blogger, model, dominatrix from New York City.
Yes.
She has her own website, so make sure you guys, we're going to take a picture. We're going to tag her all over. Make sure you guys follow her. Make sure you keep up with the website. We got so many cool things coming, so keep
now that you mentioned the dominatrix, let's get into that. What does how does one...
I always wanted, I don't give a fuck, right? I always wanted to, like, slap someone and for them to be like...
How does one get the title dominatrix? Like, it's one thing to be into it, to know it, but once you're like, I'm a dominatrix,
you definitely earn your stripes in the game.
Okay, let's hear it.
All right.
I feel first and foremost there's a huge misconception that whether the person be male or female, whether they be very dominant or very submissive, people
Will
think...
fainted. Somebody said dominatrix faints. Okay, shout out to Will that's tuned in. Go ahead.
You know, I feel it's a huge misconception that people think just because you can do that for a living, you must like that in bed in real life.
Okay.
Like, that must be your personality in bed too. Not at all.
Okay.
Really?
Not
So
at
it's like
all.
a switch.
Yes, I see it as work. For me, it is work. I have to follow a script. I have to say certain things. I have to keep a certain mentality.
Okay.
It's not for me sexual pleasure. It's not for me that fun. It's not for me mental foreplay. I'm not into that. I'm actually more submissive behind closed doors.
Oh, see, the more you
So now in being a dominatrix, it's mostly when the guy wants you to be in control.
Yes, dominatrix is typically, in the way that the industry goes now, it's the majority of clients are men that are paying women for physical and or verbal abuse. Now, there's a big difference between this and prostitution, because this has to do more with the mind. This has to do more with foreplay. This is not about what happens in the moment. And a big thing to remember is that a lot of men who want these sorts of, they want boundaries, they want all these rules, they're thriving off of it, they love it. They don't want to be able to touch you, they don't want to be able to see you naked, they don't want to, no, they want the boundaries, they want the discipline.
So they want to be told,
I'll go to jail,
sometimes.
man. If you let me hit you, ain't no telling what I'm going to do.
I heard it's usually men that are in power, and they're used to giving orders, and it's just something for them to...
1,000%.
Which like what you said, in this, you know what I mean? It's a script. It's something you have to do. Yes. But in the real bedroom,
not at all.
You want the man to take control.
If he does not, he's not my type. And
I'm with that.
Okay. Wish you all the best. Namaste, baby.
Absolutely.
You're just not the one for me.
Right.
So what got you into dominatrix in the first place?
Yes.
Like, what made you say, you know what, I could beat the shit out of someone and get paid for it?
Oh, girl. Yes. I definitely think that being from Section 8 housing, growing up from lower income housing, you definitely grow up with a sort of resentment towards the upper class, especially the people that are very snobby and make you feel like shit.
So it was like, oh, you gonna pay me to slap you?
I'm gonna make y'all laugh.
Okay, all right.
Yes. You gonna pay me to tell you you're a rich piece of shit?
Yes.
I like you more and more by the second. Yes.
I had a very interesting time.
I was just gonna say, tell us an experience without getting into detail.
I was a teenager and I was window shopping one day after school in Bloomingdale's, and I was in high school, so I was looking at the prom dresses. Now, I went to an all-girl Catholic high school. We had uniforms. Okay. There was no mistaking us for, like, normal people.
Right.
You knew that we were in Catholic school. We had the skirts, the little tajas, the whole shebang. There was a lady, a very elderly white woman, chasing me around the store, calling me Maria. Telling me to get her something. And, like, I was inside just, like, boiling, you know, and it just, like, blew my whole day. Yeah, y'all. I was like, my name's not Maria, dude. Yeah. I'm like, do you see this uniform? I don't work here, lady. You know, so.
Clearly, she was trying to be disgusting.
Super mean. You know, having things like that happen to you definitely shape you to look at the upper class a certain way. Are there people that treat you very well, who want to mentor you, who want to help the urban community? Absolutely. But we all know how racism works.
Right.
And we know it does not discriminate by money. By you could be rich and be racist, you could be poor as shit and be racist.
That's true.
So, and then in Hispanic communities and in black communities, we deal with colorism.
Right.
So things like that do kind of give you a certain level of resentment as you grow up and as you look at the world. And at the age of 19, when I was stripping, I was just tired. And I wanted something else. You're tired of being on your feet 8 hours a night in heels. You're tired of fighting off drunk men when a bouncer can't come help you.
Right.
You're tired of dealing with it. You
and
start looking at
you don't dance no more at all.
No.
Okay.
I don't dance now. I'm a dominatrix. I be whipping ass now.
Woo! I thank God every day.
Yeah,
but my first experience was in a strip club. There was a very old, very nice, very, very nice guy who was very respectful. He didn't try to touch me or anything. Very old, rich white guy.
Love those.
You know, and obviously in clubs there's private rooms. Everybody knows that. But he wasn't even talking about that. He had his own leash and collar like a dog.
Wow.
He wanted to be walked
in
front of everybody.
He wanted to have the leash on him.
Yes. He wanted me to stand and walk him like a dog.
Do you remember, what was it, Candy Shop? That video where I think it was 50 Cent that he walked girls?
Yes.
I always looked at that like, bitch,
I ever told you about that?
That
when I went to King of the Dot for the first time for a battle, I think I wasn't a massacre. I don't know which event it was, but it was when I went there, the guy came into King of the Dot and he had 2 girls on leashes, bad chicks, yo, bad chicks on leashes, and they were both like crawling through the venue with like a chain on their neck.
And there's rules because there's a level of ownership. When you see a leash, that's a sign of ownership. A leash and a collar, it means that you are their pets.
See,
okay.
I like literally. I like 50 Shades of Grey.
Yes, girl. Yes.
Like I'm all that, but I have I need a safe word.
We have our boundaries. We need a safe word. As Kevin Hart would say, pineapples.
Yes, pineapples.
Please. Find your word that gives you that pineapples vibe, please. People, be safe, especially when it comes to things like choking. Erotic asphyxiation is a real fetish. Hi, how are you? Yes.
Actually, the nerd in me looked something up before, and I saw that was a big thing in Manhattan.
Oh, yes.
And there was a gay couple, and the guy passed away.
Yes.
Because supposedly what you do is you masturbate, and right when you're about to ejaculate, they tie the scarf.
Yes.
Because it's like getting choked. Like, you know how people like getting choked?
So do you still...
But like at the moment.
At the moment that you're ejaculating.
So your body's
and this dude hung himself.
But do you still...
The body will. Yes.
Oh,
the body will.
Shit. I didn't know. I thought you would get so like lost.
All the blood is down there by then. Men are fascinating creatures.
I got a question.
Yes.
What's your worst experience being a dominatrix?
Ooh,
Like, what's the worst thing that scared you, maybe?
Yeah, definitely, absolutely. There's definitely a difference between there's strip clubs, which people know about, but there's dungeons where women or men in some cases, hey, go to work and they're secure. They have cameras. Men pay insane memberships to be a part of them. They're in Manhattan in very exclusive places. The women are
paid.
The
shit we would never find.
Right.
We know it happens. But
Right. But it's like a club. You're working in shifts. So it's more, the blueprint is like a regular job. You have an 8-hour shift. You have your coworkers. Hi, Nancy.
Hey.
You know, like,
I'm here for my 10 a.m.
Exactly. Yeah, I have a 10 a.m. today. I'm going to be here till about 6. You know, they have their schedules. It's a real company.
So are the guys already picked out if you do it by that way?
Members tend to be screened. So typically when girls go on interviews, if the company picks them, they tell them, like, this is how we screen. We request taxes, or we run their credit, or whatever the case may be.
You gotta take a drug test?
Right? You know, there are secure places where girls feel safe and they want to do that. My thing is I never wanted to be confined to scheduling and feeling like I was working a regular quote-unquote job. So I wanted to be indie. I wanted to do things on my own.
Okay.
Right.
With the power of the internet. Since about the 80s, you've had websites and personal ads such as Backpage, classified ad sites such as Backpage, where people were able, and Craigslist, where people were able to post their own ads. Just post BS numbers, Google Voice, text-free, next best.
Right.
Just get the calls, talk to someone and see whether or not they wanted to go. Versus working in a dungeon where that's a client that's already paid a membership, and we don't care how awkward he makes you feel and he wants you to say.
I get
he
you.
paid.
Okay.
Some of these men have very sick fetishes. Some of these men are dealing with issues from being molested by priests. They're dealing with intense sexual traumas, being sodomized by
and
people
they
in
have
their
the money
families.
to go to these dungeons.
So wait,
Some of the things that they say will give you nightmares. It's not even about being touched, okay?
Oh.
It's about things that they say.
Oh, yeah,
So
yeah.
I wanted to be completely on my own because I'm from the South Bronx. If I'm not comfortable, I'm out. And if you want to shoot the one, we're going to shoot the one.
Right.
Like
Okay.
point blank
Shit.
period.
Like, don't call me the N-word.
Thank you. And I did. A guy from Arkansas. I definitely did. The most scariest incident that happened to me was a client who was high. But this is the problem, that we're no longer living in an era where you just have to worry about coke.
Right.
And eat. Okay. Now it's prescription pill abuse.
Yeah.
Now it's oxy. Now it's lean.
It's true.
Now it's them
Now it's
mixing all
perks.
different types
You don't
of
know
shit.
what the hell people are on nowadays. It's scary. They're on a cocktail. They're on prescription medication plus alcohol.
Right.
That's scary. If you
That's
guys don't
very, very
know what
scary.
that's like, trust me.
Someone can literally die on your hands. It's not exactly for the faint of heart. You do have to know what you're going into here. You do get clients that are very high, but you're like, damn, is he drunk? What is he? Like, and you're
there's
trying
no
to
turning
tough it
away
out.
from it in a sense.
You can walk out. Some of them, I've had some just fall asleep. I've had some look at me and be like, wait, who are you? And then I'm like, I'm out. You know,
I'd be like, you said you were going to pay me for the ride.
Exactly.
I just drove you here.
My advice to girls is always get your money. Yes.
That is a lot.
I'm your Uber driver.
My advice is always get the bread up front. Always get
Right.
your money up front. If someone makes you feel uncomfortable, just leave. Definitely stick to 4- and 5-star hotels where you have security, where you have those fire alarms that you can pull.
Have you ever gotten cool with someone after?
No,
And then-
bye.
No?
Wow. Okay, it's fucking work.
For the simple fact that when I was a stripper, we did have close calls where the last car out of the strip club followed us through the Lincoln Tunnel all the way back to New York.
That is
Really?
fucking
We were carpooling with the
insane.
bouncer, who was a very nice guy. It was like 4 of us girls. At the time, I was living in the Bronx. Some other girls were living in Queens and in Brooklyn.
Okay.
So the very nice bouncer was like, hey, I gotta head to upstate New York anyway. I'll take you guys through the tunnel,
God
leave you all in
bless
Times
him.
Square. He had to flag down cops because a car followed us through the Lincoln Tunnel. So, and that was just working in the strip club, and I personally had no interaction with that client. It was another girl that was in the car that did have an interaction. She
That
gave him a
is
dance.
so
I'd have
fucking
been
scary.
like, what?
Ever since that, I do not, because of the stalker game, I do not make friends
Yeah.
with these guys. I had a client who was very out of it, and I was trying to leave, and he tried to pull me back into the hotel room.
Oh no.
And it was a 4-star hotel. It was a beautiful hotel, and he kept on saying, oh, like, you don't know who you mess with. I'm a fed.
I'm gonna be like, I'm a snitch, I'm a snitch, I'm a snitch.
For real, you know. And thank you.
What you mean?
The whole issue with him was that he was soliciting. He was asking for things that were out of the spectrum of dominatrix. He wanted extras. He wanted to smash.
So he figured if he said he was a fed, he would get you in trouble.
And he was also like, oh, but just name your price. And it's like, that's not the game I play, my dear. I'm very happy sticking to my dominatrix lane. I'm not against women who do full-on sex work and do prostituting.
Right, but I'm not here for that.
But it's not my hustle.
So you definitely, like, you don't
it's
go
not my
past
hustle.
that line.
No,
okay.
it is not my hustle.
One more question.
And not for that, you might make more money like that when they know they can't.
Not for nothing. They're not 9 times out of 10 they come back more when you don't give them everything.
Right.
Wow.
Right.
I mean,
That's what it's about.
Right.
You know, I hate to say it. There is a certain science to men. There is a certain science to keeping a man's interest. And a lot of it has
Tell
to
me,
do
girl,
with just making
I can't keep wanting to save my life.
Yes, girl. They, you know, as much as men are hunters by nature. They want to feel like they have to go after something. Like, and not to objectify women, but you are the trophy, you are the goal, you are the finish line.
Yeah.
Amen. Amen.
Shout out to Kaza. Lotion and get the basket.
Let me get one more.
Bro.
Has anybody ever asked you to do something you like, I ain't doing that shit?
Absolutely.
That much? Damn.
I'm sure they try to get their fill.
Have you ever had a girl request a girl dominatrix?
No, but we have had couples who want to do things together, or women who want to learn
I'd be like,
how
I
to
want
please
to
their
get
partner
beat up
like
together.
Yes, you do have some women that want to be a part of that pain too.
Right.
And then you have women that are like, you know, this is my man, I've been with him,
whatever
that's
he
my
wants.
husband.
Yeah.
You know, I want to learn how to do this to him too. Like, let's get a professional girl in so she can teach me how to do this.
Yep. Y'all ever watch Billions? Any of y'all?
I haven't, but when I told someone I was a dominatrix, that's the first thing they were talking about.
Yeah, because the husband and the wife dominates him, and then one episode he went to the what you call it?
A dungeon.
The dungeon, the special like you membership. Had to be a membership. Yo, he went and didn't tell his wife.
Oh, and she was tired.
Then it shows up on the credit card statement. I'm just saying.
She was hot than a motherfucker. Like,
I mean, but I've heard we had friends that had different spots like that, where it'd be like fetish spots where they could just go.
Fetishes are hot
do what
right
they
now,
gotta do.
guys.
And they were telling us that there's spots you can go to where they just have group sex, like everybody's just
Orgies.
walking around,
Orgies,
butt
swinger
ass
parties.
naked.
that's
You
been
guys-
for years though.
Swinger parties.
Yeah.
Swinger parties.
Nothing.
Swinger
like,
Yeah, I go to one every other month.
I heard about
fucking
Jada
around.
and Will are swingers.
Wow. Oh yeah, they
I heard Jada and Will are swingers, and
I would
that's why
believe
their
that.
marriage has been so successful for so
I would
long.
believe it.
Listen,
I mean, hey, what works for you, God bless, Godspeed.
Exactly.
You know? It's your relationship,
everyone's
it's your
different.
marriage.
But now, so you don't have that many girls. You say you don't have no girls. You never
No,
had
when everybody was talking,
He's like,
yes, everybody was talking about Backpage getting shut down. But Backpage was only one out of about 344 websites that were shut down by the DOJ under the Trump administration. So we have several issues going on with this. If you look back in history, if you look at Hitler's number one enemy was the press. Who's Trump's number one enemy? There we go.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be very aware of these things.
What are you reading the
History
comments?
tests
These niggas just talking about beating my meat under the desk.
It's your uncle.
These niggas just wildin'.
Censorship in the age of the internet is a huge problem. The internet is meant to be free speech, with the exception of hate speech. So to censor people from doing things that are completely consensual and fine, the amount of criminals that were actually utilizing Backpage and other websites such as Craigslist were actually very small.
But I mean, with dominatrix, that's a little different. I think they were just trying to crack down on like the actual sex.
I'm
acts.
very glad you brought that up. Intelligent people all around the world know that there is a difference between actual full-on sex work like prostitution.
Right. That's what they were.
That's
targeting.
a good question, though.
Based,
It's
like
fetishes and
dominatrix.
prostitution is totally different.
The
Dominatrix
problem-
is different than prostitution.
You're not having sex.
Because dominatrixes, they can't touch you. If they even try
They're
to touch
tied
you,
up. They're
you're like,
tied up. It's like if I tie you up, how you gonna
But
touch
you're
me? You're tied
still
up.
selling something.
But
They're
it's
selling
not
the
sex.
fantasy, the mental fantasy. You
I'm
can't
like,
touch
so
me
they
and I'm
paying
beautiful
and
I'm
they
in front
not
of
getting
you.
none?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what
I
you're
understand
paying for.
the dudes getting dominated. They don't want sex,
Right.
except the Fed dude.
Some of them, not to be disrespectful towards men. I'm sure you guys have your own plights in life, and aging is horrible on everyone. Some of these men are so old, and their health is in such poor condition that they are not allowed to take medical supplements such as Viagra. What do you people think that means?
They can't do anything.
Even if they wanted to, this is as
Oh,
close as
that's
they're
what I need.
getting.
All right.
Put 2 popsicle sticks
I
In
need
the
to
on
find
comfort
one
of their
right
own
in the head.
home. In the comfort of their own home, or in the comfort of a hotel room without having to go to a strip club.
Okay.
So there is a lot of appeal to it. There is a lot of wide clientele. The issue with the United States is that in this country we have, legally, there is no difference. We are all grouped as sex workers. Even though I do not have sex, I am defined in the United States of America as a sex worker. Versus if you go anywhere else, France, Europe, Amsterdam,
Well,
Canada.
in France, then
it's
you be that
completely
bitch in
In
France.
France, there's a license for prostitution and it's equal to 25 USD. Okay?
And then
Wow.
where is it that we always Amsterdam too. Amsterdam, I believe.
I always hear stories about
their
Amsterdam.
taxes. Like they file taxes.
Wait. Did you guys know in Norway there's government money set up for very old men to receive sexual services from prostitutes at least once a month?
Get the fuck out of here. Are you serious?
For all y'all thirst
I
buckets
would
out
like
there,
the
tell me you don't want to
government-
go to Norway right now.
I would
Move
like
to
the
Norway.
government to fund me for once a month.
When y'all old and retired and bored, you get a pretty cute
Shit.
little thing for free.
For free.
I have
Norway
another
is-
question. Not on that note, Lee,
Yes.
do y'all think y'all have what it takes to be a dominatrix?
I can
now,
definitely do it.
now,
Beats like I
Now.
was all my life.
now, I bet you it's not as easy as it may sound
Oh, no.
to
I
just
never-
do it.
I know. I listen. I have friends that are dominatrix or are involved in that realm, and I just feel like my personality, the way that I am, and the sick shit that I like, I feel like I would
Right.
fit.
Okay.
And you would not mind slapping the shit out of a guy.
Listen, you come out so happy.
Let me-
Like,
let me
See,
tell
I
you
think
this.
I could probably do it, but the problem I would
No,
have.
she'd be like, "I'm so sorry.
Right.
I didn't mean it."
Right. That's why I asked the question. That's why I asked the
If it
question.
gets too far, I'd be like, "Why do you want this?
okay,
You don't deserve this."
There are some guys that are very like over the edge, like they actually want to bleed, and then you're like, "Whoa, buddy."
Right. Or
You know.
like you said, certain things you'll never get out of your
No,
head. That's
absolutely
what
not.
That's what scares
Hearing
me.
the stories about how they were molested as children or sexually assaulted
They'll
by
just tell
priests,
you.
they're trying to work through traumas. You also have men that are in denial about their sexuality.
See, I talk myself out of money. I'd be like, "You're just doing to me what that priest did to you."
Oh my god.
Let's end this cycle right now.
I really can't.
Let's end this cycle right
Look,
now.
at the end of the day, we make profit because people are too ashamed to go and get help or speak to a therapist or.
It is a form
So
of
go to your
therapy.
dominatrix and let her know all about it.
Absolutely, we will definitely help you work out your issues.
Now, does that annoy you though? Does it annoy you when they start talking about real personal life?
What
shit?
annoys me is when they try to make a romantic connection because I'm like, baby love,
Spit my drink out.
I got rent to pay, and
Right,
I didn't meet you because I thought you was cute.
right.
Let's just be real honest.
Oh,
here.
like so it'll be people like trying to hit you up.
They're like,
later,
oh my god,
like-
but you're so beautiful. Let me take you out to dinner. I don't want to date a man that wants to be tied up. I need a man that wants to like handcuff me and shit.
Right.
Like we're not.
Talk that
We're not.
shit.
Like if I tie
No.
you up, who's gonna tie me up?
Thank you. Like you're just not my type. No offense. You know, everybody. It's perfectly fine. You're entitled to like what you like behind closed doors.
Watch.
Right.
My next
You
encounter,
know.
I'm gonna slap the shit out of somebody, and I'm gonna come back like, yo, he wasn't.
As
into
long
it.
as you talk about everything in advance.
He wasn't with it, yo.
By
I don't
all
know what
means.
happened.
Consent. I feel like that's another thing. Consent can be so sexy.
Okay.
Like don't you want to all the guys watching, don't you want a woman to be like, I puppy, yes, touch me, take me now, like don't
That's
you want
a
to just like,
fact.
have a woman going crazy, like, but that's consent. A woman telling you like, yes, I want it. That's consent. And unfortunately in the United States, the only state that teaches consent is the state of California. by the Board of Ed. That is the only state that has to teach what consent is. And I just told you guys very easily what it was. See?
Wow. Like, these dummies didn't know. Like, they just go ahead and just go.
And that's why you have all these gray areas and all these stories about, oh, but I was drinking so much. You have girls shaming themselves, talking about, oh, I had too much to drink. You have guys talking about, oh, well, we was both late and this, that, and the third. This is why you have all these stories where people are like, oh, well, whose side are you going to take? Because the consent was so fucking blurred.
Right.
Now,
like,
we have a question here. Can she have a relationship while being a dominatrix? Have you been in a relationship at all in your
but
years?
It takes a very, very strong man to understand. Unfortunately,
I wouldn't give a fuck.
When you leave the country,
hot. No,
when you leave the country,
you know that your girl's not having sex, but she's just like dominating. I'll be like, where's your girl? Dominating somewhere. She'll be
tying some man up like a little piggy.
And then you walk in and he's like, you ain't dominating me, bitch. Yeah, honey.
You know, that's the problem, that this country has such a stigma. Like, sex workers, we don't have rights here, guys. Like, if a girl gets raped on the job and we go to law enforcement, we're fucked, okay? We put ourselves in that predicament. That's unfortunately the American criminal justice perspective.
I definitely watch SVU.
I mean, come on. You guys know what it is. Versus when you leave the country, when you go anywhere else,
lawyer.
they know that there's a difference between the fetish work and actual full-on prostitution. Things get very lost in translation. It's very, very difficult to find people that do like really understand. Like, okay, this is it and that's it.
I feel
So
like
you
men
did meet
blur
someone that was
lines.
cool with it.
I've met few men that do very well with it. My last relationship went down in flames because of it.
Okay.
Just flames. It didn't sit well with him. His whole family was just, I was getting slut shamed left, right, upside down.
I'm like, why you told your family?
It was horrible. No, then it was my idea because I'm a horrible liar. Oh my God. I suck at like keeping up with lies.
So they would ask like what you did.
Yeah, and I was just like, I tie men up and slap them, and like, I mean, yo, Manhattan rent is expensive. Yo, I'm paying $15.69 for a studio.
See,
for a
then
studio.
You mean the same thing?
And it's me and my dog, okay? Like, I ain't got no kids.
Have you ever ran into someone in the street that you've had an encounter with and you're just like,
oh, I did once, but I didn't recognize him. That was really
funny. Recognize you?
Yes.
Oh
He
my
was like,
God.
oh, you're so-and-so. Like, one of my BS names.
right, and you're
And,
like, oh, what
and I was
that?
like, and then in my head, I was like, damn, I ain't used the name Jasmine for like 3 years. I was like, who is you? Like, I could not, like, no, because then the majority of the clientele, honestly, unless it's a dungeon, the majority of clientele in hotels are business people that are here traveling, people that are here on business, wealthy businessmen, CEOs, VPs.
Look at that.
I like them.
You know, these are men that have very high profiles. These are men that are probably on Forbes. Political commentator, CNN. I mean, we've had some very, very interesting people, DA people. I mean, people in politics.
People
when United Nations
I feel
is
like
in
the
town,
more money
it's
you
crazy.
have, they know about it.
United Nations is bank. When you have all these diplomats here.
Oh yeah, because
they're
all like, yo, we got you guys
bank.
taken care of.
Wow.
And
But
they're
legally-
taken care of.
Legally, they can get away with murder because they're diplomats.
Right.
So
How
they
they
kill
do
you
whatever
very,
they
very
want.
careful. Yes, you have to be very, very careful. And as much as people try to, as much as there's a lot of Islamophobia going on right now, one of the best clients I ever had was in a 5-star hotel, and he was, I will not say his political position, but Kuwait. Kuwait. I will not say his political position. I had to go through security literally 3 different times. My purse was literally completely taken away from me.
Oh my God, did you get to wear like cool stuff?
No, he wanted me just
Regular,
dressed as I was.
I'd be like, no, I want to look like Jasmine from Aladdin.
I can't.
And we're gonna do this.
Maybe for my man, I dressed up like Princess Jasmine.
Yes,
Put the
like
weave in.
So wait,
hello.
so what is the usual wear for a
They-
dominatrix?
In
You
my
wear, like, leather
experience, you know, that shit is expensive. Dude.
Yeah.
Let me
Or
tell
well,
you.
like the
Oh,
latex girl.
I wanted one of those cute little like tube all black latex
yeah.
dresses. If you guys are familiar with like the EDM lifestyle,
Yeah.
you know those little outfits that they have, the latex outfits. Alright, cool. Those things are very expensive, and you have to slather yourself in baby oil just to get
To get it,
them.
yes.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
If you didn't, it would feel uncomfortable wearing the shit
Yeah,
anyway.
then you're just like.
I'm like,
I
I'd
was
much
just looking
rather
at
wear
those.
like a corset or something from Vias or like a little bra top. Typically, in my experience, it's from one extreme to another. They want someone who's very, at the very best demure, at the very worst geeky as fuck.
Right.
Like
right,
librarian status.
Yeah, they want like glass. That's why when you
long
said
skirt, very
It's full on
conservative.
fantasy mode, basically.
Absolutely. Or they go in the complete opposite direction and they want your Barbie. They want your long hair. They want your nice long eyelashes. They want that whole bam, bam, bam kind of vibe.
Wow.
So it's
it all
very
depends on
interesting.
who you're with.
It all depends on the guy. Probably one of the most awkward but most flattering things I ever heard was, I called you back because you look like my wife.
wow, I'd be like,
Wow.
so what's the issue with you and her?
Oh
Clearly
my
you're
God.
attracted to
Come
her.
on,
I mean, for real,
come
for
on.
real.
Clearly you love her because you're calling me because I look like her.
I would say probably one of the funniest experiences I had was, there was a very nice old man, and he was like, oh, would you mind changing and just like wearing your bra? And he had a brand new pair of Calvin Klein tights from Bloomingdale still in the package. And they were like secretary, like granny panty, like stockings, just nude secretary. You know, and he's like, can you just wear these, like past your stomach and just your bra? And I would be so happy. Like he was like, I'll pay you more. And I was
But
like,
you
well,
know what?
shit, that's more than what I wear at the beach.
You probably look sexy in that shit.
Yeah.
It's different.
because
different.
that's the whole fantasy of
It's a
like
fantasy.
you came out of your work clothes.
Maybe he had the
Like you
hots
said.
for his secretary.
Right, and
Right,
always
and
wondered
that's the
what,
way-
and that's
It's
what she
all
looked like,
about
yeah.
the fantasy.
That
So,
is crazy.
you know, I sat there and I'm like, well, you know, I wear less than that at the beach. You know, let's keep it a
Right.
stack. So, all right, no problem. So I go into the bathroom and I change privately. But when I came out of the bathroom, I was not the only one in pantyhose.
Oh.
Get the fuck out of
He
here.
had pantyhose on.
Yes,
too.
girl, he did.
Also, he wanted a match. She said twins.
I have never tried so hard to keep a straight face in my life.
I'd be like,
my
oh,
God.
like that thing we used to go on. Okay, when we first started promoting
Wait, what?
the chat roulette.
Okay.
So
Alright.
once we said we were gonna start doing the show here at this studio, we were thinking of
At
crazy
what studio?
ways. Here at 15 Minutes of Fame. Shout out 15
15
Minutes
minutes
of
of
Fame.
fame.
So we went on chat roulette, which is like you can literally go on the same way like we can see our faces now. You go, they see you, we see them. And then you're just clicking to the next one. So of course
wow.
there's creeps that's jerking off.
There's so
Oh,
many.
We're going
so
past
many,
them.
so
We
many.
ran into a cross dresser.
Oh my God! I
So
so
it was a guy,
Yes.
and it literally, he said that he didn't want people to know his name, whatever, because he's a businessman, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. But when he gets on chat roulette, he's Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yes,
Ooh.
he's
He
a
was
full-blown
full-blown,
woman.
yep.
He has his little tube top, crop top. He had his little, like, his colors were crazy. Like a little,
yeah?
a green skirt, a red top.
All right, Team Rainbow.
Like, yes,
Yeah.
and he had a wig on. He had just the whole feel of it, and he was like, "Yes, ladies, yes."
Yeah, and
And
we were promoting
like,
the show, but it was crazy how he basically told us straight up, like, I come on here to be myself
Yes.
because my friends, my family, my
Nobody will
coworkers,
accept it.
they don't know it. They don't,
Yes.
and we were just like,
Imagine.
Yes.
That
well,
is
we've
wild.
seen some wild, crazy.
No,
people
wait.
on chat roulette.
So, sidebar question here. Have you ever worked with a guy that you actually looked at and you were like, damn, he's kind of cute?
Oh my God.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
I'm like, you want me to do what?
Good question.
He was
Good
probably
question.
the only exception to the rule that like I never made a personal connection because
Right.
I call him, I have him saved on my phone as El Santo. He is
Oh.
the saint. The problem,
Damn.
the problem.
Right? Where is he at?
He's in Cali. God bless him. Shout out to Kevin. I love Kevin so much.
Oh, Kevin. Shout out.
Kevin is amazing. Basically, working in a cash-based industry, I know we're in Jersey. You guys are very blessed. When it comes to trying to get an apartment in Manhattan, holy shit, the amount of financial documents they want.
I know.
You know, and then
I
when
was
you-
trying to look now.
You feel the pain. When you want an apartment, they want pay stubs, they want letter of employment, this and the third.
It's
Whether you're a
impossible.
stripper, a dominatrix, whatever, you don't have that. A bartender, it's hard to have that. You need someone else to help you.
Right.
So he was the one exception to the rule.
Wow. And he helped you.
He helped me get my apartment and everything. He was young and super cute and all tattooed, and
We need a Kevin.
It was
Where's
basically-
these Kevins at?
he was just like curious
no, like I need a
about
Kevin
it.
like within 60 days.
It was very interesting because at the time I was advertising for dominatrix, but it was slow, so I was advertising for adult erotic massage.
Ooh.
So
is that like happy ending? Okay.
Okay.
It sounds way cooler.
and the reason
Sounds better to me.
And the reason is because
Get
it's
my
always
ass
up to the
whooped.
girl. It's always up to the girl. For some girls, it comes down to money. For some girls, it comes down to is he cute. For some girls, it comes down to no, I'm not doing that at all.
Okay. So it all depends on what
for
you're
me,
comfortable
it
with.
came down to I'm just gonna take the money and wait for you to fall asleep, and then I'm gonna leave you. What you have to remember is that
You was gonna what?
in these night
No, I didn't hear you.
in these night industries, a lot of the time they're high, they're drunk, they're tired, they fall asleep. When you tell a drunk person just lay down in the bed and I'm just gonna rub your back, let me tell you, you can have them knocked down in like 10 minutes, okay?
Oh, and then you could slide
You get
out.
all, but this is the thing, a smart person always gets their money in advance. So you get your money and you leave. That's it. Nobody's hurt. Somebody's just knocked out and you're just leaving. That's it.
And he's probably like, wow, who knows how long
He was probably like, she was great. I went right to sleep.
For real.
Right.
So, it really
Can
depends
you
on the
promote
girl.
asking for a friend?
Yes. That was how I came across Kevin.
Can you promote erotic massages with just wearing lingerie and giving massages?
Yes, the problem is
Maybe a
legally
Jabberwocky
everybody will
mask?
shut you down. IG will shut you down. Tinder will shut you down. Bumble will shut you down. Being that Backpage was not the only website that got shut down. 344 other websites were also shut down. So girls in this industry are flocking to Tinder, to Instagram, to
Snapchat,
whatever the
Snapchat
Snapchat, premium Snapchat.
I'm all
okay?
about doing what y'all gotta do. Just
We
don't do
have
that on
no-
Pinterest, man.
thank you.
Pinterest is not the spot for that.
We have no choice now. They just
Stay
want
off
to
of
kick us out
Pinterest.
of everywhere. So it's hard.
wow.
That was how I came across Kevin. Kevin apparently there was someone who went to him. Okay, Kevin had a cousin who apparently went for an erotic massage that had a happy ending, but it wasn't me. At the time, I had girls working for me. I had my own little company thing
Ooh,
going on.
so it was like you found somebody selling on
I
your
had
block.
this badass Brazilian girl. I had this banging ass Brazilian girl working for
I love
me.
Brazilians. You
At
want
the
me already.
time, yes, and she was making me so much money. I was literally just sitting at home, and she would just send me my money on PayPal. And we was chilling.
Word.
I never even met the girl, but God bless her. Mwah. Like she was a college student,
And she wasn't
She
shady
was
with the
clean.
money,
She was like, I
she-
have a boyfriend. I just want to massage them and leave. And I was like, well, you don't have to give them
Right.
anything. And legally, happy ending is not even legal. So for them to ask, it is solicitation.
Right.
So no, you do not, under no circumstance are you required to go through with the happy ending because they're soliciting for that.
Right.
That's
right.
not what the game is about.
Shit. Know your laws.
Know your laws, people, because you know why entrapment is legal and it could be a cop. Snap, snap.
How would you handle a situation though if she didn't send you your money and you never met her? Like, how do you trust somebody else?
Very
working for
simple.
you?
I'm finding it.
I hear that.
PayPal
See, I got the
tends to
mentality
be
of
very
it.
careful with things like PayPal and Venmo. PayPal, for a fact, if you're involved with eBay, buying and selling things on eBay, your PayPal account typically has an address where
Right.
you're doing this kind of package exchange.
Right.
It could be a PO box or it could be your actual home address. But things like that, people will catch you slipping. Also, when you get a cell phone, when you register your number, it registers under an address.
They say you'll be there like
You
a
can
shoe
find
pimp.
people.
They say you'll be there
Best
like a shoe
believe.
pimp. That's what they
Listen,
say in the comments.
I'm from Brook Ave on the 6th line. That's all I'm going to say.
Ow.
Allegedly.
No, because see,
Allegedly.
that's always been my worry is like who to trust. How could you? Even
Are there
trust
people that scam? There could even be guys just sending fake pictures like, yeah, this is me.
And then you go there
my
and it's
God.
like
And then they go to these 5-star hotels and try to rob these poor, old white guys that are helpless.
Aww.
There's a lot of twists and turns in this game.
So has that ever happened? Like, have you ever been catfished?
Oh, thank God, no. No, and there was a time that it's funny to everybody, but I was literally in tears. I was so scared. I had a guy who was so old that I was really scared he was gonna die.
Oh
my God.
Like he was so
You
old.
see this right here? It's a tear. It's a fucking tear
He
right
was
here.
walking so slow,
the guy.
and like in his chest, he had like these metal plates.
Oh.
Like he wasn't shirtless, but like he had like a little button-up shirt, and it was tight, so he had like 2-3 buttons open, and you could see these like square metal plates in his chest.
I'm out.
Oh, he was
Right,
He was living in his last
He
days.
was living his best life.
Right,
Let me tell you.
and he was like, yeah.
It was about to be the last day of his life.
I thank God
Fucking
every
with
day
you.
he made it through, because if not legally, I can't run. I have to talk to. I have to say what happened to him. I was the last person that saw him alive.
That was a real
You can
thing.
go to jail for that, people.
That was a
Do
real
not
thing.
run. Do not run. You have to, and then you also have to understand these are real people, real families. He probably had a wife that he was married to for like 40 years.
Doesn't mean he's a bad person because he likes that type of shit.
He just wanted to
be a regular
like
person.
A G, like,
And then he
probably
told me he
figured.
was in New York visiting doctors. He was here seeing, like, to the hospitals, like seeing specialists. This man was clearly
So it
near
was
his
to get his
last
mind
day.
off of stuff.
Right.
You know, so there is also a level of compassion to that kind of work. There's a level of compassion. There's a level of understanding and human sympathy. You know, a lot of these guys are very old. We're not talking about young guys in their 20s and 30s. Absolutely not. The youngest clients we typically get tend to be in their 40s.
Oh.
Kevin, it was fucking hysterical because he was like, my cousin gave me this number and like basically said it was for a massage and like didn't really get around to the whole happy ending part. Then when I was like, well, what's your cousin's number? I sent him
Kevin,
that.
you
I sent
knew
him
what
that
type of
Brazilian bitch.
massage it was. You just saw her and was like, I
You
like
were trying to be
her.
I sent him the Brazilian girl, right? I sent his cousin the Brazilian girl, and then the cousin gives his number to Kevin, because Kevin was only going to be in New York for one night.
Oh, okay.
And was like, oh, get this massage from so-and-so, whatever. The Brazilian girl went back to Brazil. And it was me. So I was just going to G it. I was just going to take the money and dip. I was just going to G him.
Right, you were like,
know?
fuck it.
But when he opened up the door, he had on this cute little hat. He had his nose piercing. He was tatted everywhere, even his hands. And I was
I'm
like,
like, babe,
I love that.
babe.
I was like, who is sold? Who this?
They didn't tell you this massage comes with me.
It was crazy. It was crazy. So we ended up like not even really like going with the whole like protocol.
Right, you guys were chilling.
You know,
at
we
that
were just
point.
chilling and talking. If my memory serves me right, I gave him back his money. If my memory,
You were like,
if
I
my
want
memory
it.
serves me right.
I wanted this
He
massage.
was so cute. Oh my God. He invited me out to dinner. We had a nice dinner. Then he flew me out to
Wow.
Cali and we discussed my homelessness issues. I was sleeping in my grandmother's house on a futon for a year and a half before I met Kevin.
Wow.
Kevin signed and Kevin guaranteed my apartment.
That's amazing.
That's what's
Look
up.
at that. Like,
You
out
know,
of
God
something-
works in very mysterious ways.
Dear
and
God.
And that was it.
That was
Dear
it.
God.
And
At
now
this
Kevin's
moment,
probably one of my
I
best
need a
friends.
Kevin.
And I literally
Did
prayed and
he-
said to God, just send me anyone.
Wait,
Did he
There's a
smash
Kevin
though?
out there.
Did he smash?
Are you kidding me?
He flew you to Cali. We just had this conversation about flying people out of the country or out of the state.
Hold on. Can I just, yeah. Drop your shit there, Can I just tell you?
what?
I
She's
started
like,
this. Kevin came out of the works because I
I'm gonna give y'all
asked
some
if
tea
there
about
was
Kevin. I'm gonna give y'all
someone-
some tea. We gonna get real right
That's
now.
it.
See?
So
Dear God.
typically, I'm used to dating my own kind.
Okay.
And I love my people.
Where are
You a
you from, by
racist?
the way?
Yes, my family immigrated from Puerto Rico and from Cuba.
Okay.
All
Puerto
four of
Rican
my
and Cuban.
grandparents are immigrants. I'm very proud of my bloodline. I typically date Hispanic men.
Okay.
You know, age is here and there, but
What was
culture-wise, they're always
Kevin?
Spanish. Kevin
White?
is half white and half Indian.
I knew it.
And if somebody would have told me that white boys was packing like that, I would have jumped on that bandwagon a long time ago. That's all I gotta say.
I mean, you got lucky with Kevin.
Girl, so lucky, so lucky.
I just wanted to know
So
if he
lucky.
smashed for flying you out to Cali.
Well, he did, but it wasn't that trip.
All right, look,
It wasn't that trip.
V is salty than a
that
motherfucker.
She's
not
not.
She rolled her eyes at me like, oh, what the
Because-
fuck are you asking that for?
In my life, I never thought I'd meet someone like that. He's in his 30s. He's more of a mentor and a friend to me. He's in California. I do not believe in long distance relationships, nor do I condone them. I think they're very, very stressful emotionally.
Right. No, but
Not to have your partner
you guys
close
have
by.
a different bond because
It's
he was
different,
there when you
right.
really
He's
needed
more
him.
of a mentor. He taught me
We love
like about
Kevin.
investing and the stock market and what forex is.
Hashtag get you a Kevin.
Get you a Kevin. He's
All
like,
right.
These bum ass dudes over here.
get you a partner you can learn from, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
All right.
Exactly.
Learn, expand, build businesses together.
Okay,
all
we
right?
gotta. I'm trying to find a way to cool down so we could go into the
I
tarot
got very,
cards.
very lucky. I got very, very lucky. I was at my wit's end pulling my hair out.
But you
I
know
was
why?
exhausted.
You know why everything worked out in your favor?
Absolutely. And he
Because-
also met me when I was busting my ass. I paid $25,000 cash to go back to Pace in fall of 2016, and that was when he met me. It was
just gonna
literally
say,
a
because
fucking snowstorm.
You were doing everything
Yeah.
the right way. You were doing everything to get what you needed, but without being greedy.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
You were doing what you needed to do to be safe.
I was
You were doing what
literally-
you needed to do to take care of yourself,
Yes.
and that's why a
Or
Kevin
being
came along.
devious.
I would
Right,
literally.
she wasn't being grimy. She wasn't robbing these
Right.
old dudes. She wasn't being nasty and mean to them.
She was whooping their
She was
ass.
whooping their ass.
But that's what
'cause
they
were
want.
Consensually.
Consensual
okay?
ass whooping.
I mean, it's very interesting the way that things unfold. I really was at a very low point in my life. I really was at my wit's end, and I was also broke because I gave all my money to my university. So
Right.
you know, it was tough, and I would literally sit in the computer lab. From shout out to Tia, that's how I met my best friend Tia. I would be in the tech lab. Pace has 2 24-hour tech labs. From 9 p.m. at night, I had class from 6 to 9. I'd be in the tech lab from 9 p.m. to 5 o'clock in the morning, doing work and screening calls at the same time. I would leave to go work, go beat somebody's ass, then come back to Pace and work in the tech lab.
Holy shit.
So I was really like on my
So
grind
you're
when I
kind of
met
going
Kevin.
from like a certain kind of vibe and a certain kind of attitude to then exiting out real quick, changing, and then going into like a
Yes.
more calm.
I had a locker at Pace. I had heels in there.
That is hilarious.
Is somebody in the chat named Kevin saying that he's the guy?
I would die laughing.
I was fucking with
I'm
you.
like, no. If somebody went and made a Kevin, that's funny. But shout
I would
out,
die laughing.
shout out to what is that? Pada or Puda?
She looking too.
That-
I'm just fucking with
Yo,
you.
I love Kevin. Yo, that's the homie. That is the
Puda
homie.
brought up something that we were talking about in Houston, so that's dope. Thanks for tuning in and being that tuned in. That you remember something we said from Houston. I'm gonna definitely check that out.
Yes, yes.
Guys,
Houston.
before we get out of here, we're gonna get real spiritual, and she's gonna pull a card for us.
Yes. Let's
And
get
then if
to
you want, I
shuffling.
could pull a card for you.
Yes,
if you
girl.
want.
Yes.
You want? Oh, Unc said he
So-
ain't with the shit.
Real quick, in case you guys didn't know, we are very, very, very spiritual.
Yes.
We're into spirituality, and so that might be something that we, you know,
Unc is like, what the
All right,
fuck?
there's something I want to address.
The opinions of Lee and V and Finesse and Chill show has nothing to do with 15 Minutes of Fame Radio. This is a disclaimer.
listen.
This is a disclaimer.
Disclaimer now.
Broads do is
It's called
nuts.
Finesse and Chill, all right?
We're finessing and chilling.
I got into tarot cards for those of you familiar with the African diaspora and everything that happened during colonialism. Basically, the Europeans used Christianity and the Bible to get the slaves and also the natives to cooperate, to give up the land and to be
Right.
slaves.
Amen.
So, you know, they used the Bible. Desmond Tutu has that quote: when I was in Africa, when I was first in Africa, we had the land and they had the Bible. When I left Africa, we had the Bible and
they had the land. Right.
You
And
know.
it's fun, not to cut you off, I'm sorry. Is what's funny too is they try to stop all the stuff, all the spirituality stuff.
Yes.
And just put the Bible as a book
Yes.
to lean on. And I'm half Italian, so I've done a lot of like old Roman history research.
Yes.
And what I learned is a lot of their prayers and their stuff, like if they're mad at somebody, if they say I cast you to Hades, that's it, bitch. Like your
It's done for you.
karma's coming back
It's done
to
for
you. It's whatever. And I feel like they stop that because they know that that's where the power is.
Yes.
Whether it's in the good prayers, the bad prayers, the cast you to wherever they want to cast
Yes.
you to,
Wow.
that shit is real.
It's
and I
very
feel like
real.
they put the Bible to stop us from learning that.
The interesting thing about the Bible and Christianity and Catholicism is that in Santeria and hoodoo, voodoo, that kind of stuff,
Right.
you have these deities, you have these gods, goddesses, we call them orishas. For example, like Baba Luaye, who's very ancestral. He
Oh,
was a
and you
healer,
Cuban too,
very
so you
old.
got
Yes,
all
God,
of
yes,
I feel
that.
like I've
God.
heard that.
That-
Baba Luaye is known in Catholicism as Saint Lazarus, and he's the only other person in the Bible to rise from the dead.
Right. Okay.
He is a very
Okay.
prominent figure. It's very interesting how these spirits line up. The patron saint of Cuba,
Mm-hmm.
we call her Cachita, Caridad de Cobre. She is considered in Santeria Oshun, which is the saint that Beyonce had the whole
Yep,
tribute to
had
with the
the-
gold outfit,
yeah.
the Grammy, the pregnancy,
Wow.
remember that?
Yeah.
That's Oshun.
Yeah.
Oh,
She's
I
the
didn't know
goddess of
that.
fertility, and she's also a twin, a sister, a Turnya Maya.
And look, and
ruled
she
the
had
waters.
twins the
and
next
she
pregnancy.
had twins.
Mouth drop.
Yep.
You know, a lot of these things.
See, I'm
do
like,
align.
you get it.
Wow.
From my understanding of history, the Africans and the natives kind of adopted the Catholicism under the guise. Like, yeah, we're lighting a candle for St. Peter, but it's really this African deity.
Right.
You know, the intention was still there, but they masqueraded the candles as white faces. Basically, it's that kind of a thing.
Right.
So when we worship these kinds of things and when we call on the ancestors, that's what we're channeling. My biggest gripe is when very spiritual people are very open and they say like, hey, I'm a witch, or I'm a bruja, or I'm a brujo, and you get people that are like, oh, so you be sacrificing chickens? Bitch, do you think when you go to Popeyes that they prayed over that chicken, that they cleansed the chicken's energy, that they cleansed the body, that they prayed for its soul, that they thanked God for its purpose on earth?
I only knew one family my whole life growing up that in their basement their mom had the chicken, but that's the older heads, yes.
Yes, it's
and when
very
you see that, you
serious
see
work.
the karma.
Yes,
with
very
it
quick,
too.
very quick. That's typically reserved for the elders,
right?
Okay,
the elders do that because
that's
they
typically
know
elder
more,
work.
and they're either doing something really bad or they know what they're doing. And you shouldn't fuck with it if you don't.
Whenever you're sacrificing a life, it's because you're asking for something very great. And in my culture, it's animals.
Wow.
But when you look at paganism, when you look at people that worship the devil, when you look at other things like that, you know, people have different beliefs, people have different sacrifices, and in the Bible, you have situations where, who was it that sacrificed their own son, Cain and Abel? There's that Bible story.
Because that's when
sacrifices have been around
in
forever.
Roman history. They were like, for celebrations or to name the new king, they would sacrifice lambs.
Yes.
And then it wasn't until like they were introducing Jesus and all of that
what
Jesus
about when
was
Moses
like, y'all ain't gotta
putting
do
the
that.
blood of lambs on the doors?
That's what they used to do.
Egypt,
Yeah,
that's
movie?
fucking crazy.
That's a children's movie, okay?
They
were slaughtering
sacrificing
lambs
animals
and putting the blood on the doors. That's in the movie The
I
Prince
do
of Egypt.
remember that. I remember being very young and seeing that shit
And being
like,
very
what the fuck?
confused. And being very confused. You know, you don't have to agree with everything. You know, and I'm sorry to people that are vegan. I know you're probably sitting there crying. I know. Poor chickens. But, you know,
it's been happening
cultures,
for years. Yeah,
it's different cultures. Different cultures have different beliefs and different things that they do.
Absolutely.
You go to Hawaii, they're roasting a pig.
You know, that's my biggest gripe. People are like, oh my God, like in Santeria, they sacrifice chickens. It's like, bitch, do you think Popeyes and the chicken spot care that much about the damn chicken? They're not raising it themselves. They're feeding it hormones and antibiotics. Chickens that are sacrificed.
As long as you do
different.
pure stuff, I have people that be like, oh, you're a witch because you're into tarot cards or you're into this. I don't ever do no type of spells. I've never been like, I want
Witchy Wednesdays.
I want somebody to be in love with me. Everybody knows that you don't get that.
It's powerful.
You could get clarity. That's what I asked for. I asked for clarity. I need to know the tea so I know how to proceed.
I feel like if you're into anything spiritual, they're always gonna look at you like you're weird,
like you're a little weird,
witchy, as they say.
I read something really funny. I saw like a meme on IG that was fucking hysterical. It was like the first woman to ever give birth to twins. Everybody must have been like, witch, witch. That
That's
shit had me crying.
Oh, true though, because it's things that are unexplained that you're kind of like, okay,
yes,
this is a little off.
Witch or special. You know what I mean? It's either a bad thing or goddamn.
Right, or like she's a saint, Like
in the public spectrum, the only person, and honestly, they get a lot of shit. They get a lot of negative attention. What's her face? Azealia Banks. That the person that lived underneath her was talking about that the blood was trickling down from how many chickens that girl slaughtering.
No, you know
baby
what?
girl, let me tell you, if you slaughtered one and life ain't going your way,
it ain't gonna go.
That's Mama Yamaya telling you to stop sacrificing her chickens.
You know, when I knew she was into
it,
she posted Martha, the Dominator.
The Dominator.
And as soon as I saw that, I was like, she's not using that for good.
No. That's a very strong, that's a very vengeful spirit.
Right.
When you call on certain spirits, you're channeling their energy.
And you have to be careful with certain ones like that. Like the one Azealia Banks posted that I'm talking about.
Yes.
With that one, she's the snake tamer.
Yes.
And she could dominate a man. If a man is treating a woman like shit, if you have a boss that's talking down to you, if you have a man that's abusing you, you're supposed to pray to this saint and it's supposed to reverse it and make you take control of your own life. So I think Azalea Banks was praying to her for power,
Of course.
to for all the wrong shit. And that's a lady that she'll listen to you and be like, okay, I'm gonna show you power. And look at all the shit that happens with Azalea Banks.
She's
If
Yes.
you're not
She's
asking
very
for the right
problematic.
thing, it's not gonna come back to you.
Exactly.
Right. When I had somebody tell me, "Oh, get a Martha candle," I was like, I don't want nothing I ain't supposed to have, Martha.
I personally have never called on her.
I did.
She's a very, very strong spirit.
I don't know.
She
To the point that at the bottom of the candle, you know how they
Will
say
burn.
pay attention how it will burn?
Burn.
It looked like a snake.
It,
Like, you know how
would look
she's
like
the snake
it'll look
tamer?
like one. Her spirit, she loves coming to play. Also, for people that are very familiar with Western culture, with Eastern culture, pardon, Kalima, that spirit of Kalima, that's very destructive. That goddess that will just tear up the earth if you call on her.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
These things align, okay? Like Malta, these are the same spirits. They're just called by different names
Names.
depending on what part of the world you're standing in. Which is why I wanted to do Witchy Wednesdays, and I wanted people to start connecting the dots, because spirituality is universal. As much as we have religion,
That's true.
we do have a lot of spiritualism. And it is important to acknowledge that right now we have a lot of suffering going on. We have a lot of problems going on in our country. It is the time where people do look for comfort.
Right.
And for people that are not comfortable with religion, spiritualism is an entire world, from Wiccan and paganism to Santeria to voodoo to hoodoo. It also has a major part of getting in touch with your ancestors, what your family personally does.
Right.
I got into Santeria because the women in my family practice. For me, it was more of a rite of passage on my way to being a woman more than anything, was understanding
Right.
that power.
Wow.
Right.
See, so it's so crazy how broad it is in a sense.
It's very broad. I started following white witches on Instagram just to try to understand what the fuck they're doing.
I feel like when I met her, I was like, I think somebody could do on me. She was like, what?
I can't.
I was like, I know, man.
Sometimes you feel it and you gotta go do a baño.
Yeah.
You know, like, it's all about the cleansing. It's all about the
It's
sage.
very, very, very
It's
true.
all
The
about the
sage is
sage.
real.
You gotta
Shout out
burst
to
the
Daddy
sage.
Mason on Instagram.
Yeah, we traveled out of town, right? All of us were booked for an event in Michigan. And my cousin, we're like, maybe like a few months apart. No, not even. We're a month apart, but a year, like in between us.
Yes.
So we barely get to see each other. And it just so happened that we all got booked for the same event. I haven't seen him in so long, and he came there and he was burning sage in his hotel room. I was like,
You gotta get that old energy out. You gotta get that old energy
and
out.
two of our boys had came in there and they was like, ew, that's thing.
AKA twerking drugs.
Twerking
We're like,
drugs.
what is that smell? What is
And
that?
we were burning sage. So
all
he's
about
like,
the sage.
you gotta watch. You gotta watch. And
He's like, I got you covered. Don't worry,
You
I got
gotta
it.
watch the energy. You gotta
Yep.
protect your energy, protect your space.
So I thought that
Okay.
was dope that even out of town and us not seeing him for a while,
Yes.
he showed up with the sage, and that's what
I'm
we
so
needed.
ready for this card
Okay.
picking right now.
Move
Before we get into-
her glass
Thank you.
Okay.
Before we get into
and the box. Just push it forward.
Oh, okay.
Got it.
Before we get into the witchy stuff, in regards to the politics, everything that happened with SESTA, it is technically censorship. I do want everyone to pay attention to censorship. Net neutrality is really big right now.
Yep.
The throttling is happening. They are censoring what the content you see on YouTube and IG and things like that. Definitely, guys, pay attention. You do not own your social media. You don't own your IG. You don't own your Twitter. That's why I wanted to do my website. You don't own these things. They can be deleted at any moment, at any time.
Could you imagine? I would be devastated.
I'm at
Unless
over
you're
11K,
smart
I'm
like
gonna
me
cry,
and you back up
basically.
your whole YouTube.
You know, you have to be very, very careful with the things you post, and realizing that we live in a country that the government is controlling a lot of things
Right.
and also micromanaging.
Like right now, everything we're talking about, we're gonna have ads
Oh,
on our phone
absolutely.
when we
Yes.
leave. It's gonna be
Yes.
like,
Well,
oh, shut.
also Snapchat. See, it's a
Yes.
reverse thing with Snapchat because people think, oh, Snapchat, yeah, it's just up there for a minute, then it disappears. No, there's a server.
Yes.
Snapchat has a server. Whether you want to
Yes.
believe that they don't save that shit,
What?
they do.
I have
They do.
videos from
Wow.
like Born Legacy freaking 2 in here on my Snapchat
Yes.
when I was going through. I was like, oh my god.
That's
Oh my
the
God.
biggest problem. And when they passed SESTA FOSTA, they claimed it was to prevent sex trafficking and that kind of criminal activity from happening.
But then again, it's still happening. So what do you have
Yes,
to say about
and
it
it's
now?
happening even more because they no longer have the ISP addresses. When
So
you
they-
post something online, it has an ISP address without giving the criminals an online platform, how can you find them without an ISP address? You have an ISP address. Every computer, every cell phone, every tablet has that ISP address.
Right.
And that's how it could
Authorities see that and just know what door to break open. You know,
So
without
if a person
that,
gets your cell phone address, they could hack your phone.
1,000%. I'm sure there's people in India right now that get paid to do that shit.
Right.
Like, I'm pretty sure there's some
Yeah,
real petty,
just to
spiteful
look.
chicks like me
That
that are posting on
investigate.
Craigslist to find these hackers in other countries that can
That
do
is
the dirt.
crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy because it's your personal. This is my fight with the internet, and I always say this. I used to post my daughter all the time.
That's big. Children are
At
big
all
right now.
times, I posted every picture, everything that she did, every video you could think of, and then maybe like 2 to 3 years ago, I started to really think about it, and I'm like, you know what, like. You really never know who's behind a screen name, who's
Yes.
behind a certain social media.
Yeah.
You don't know who's saving your kids' pictures.
Did you guys
don't
ever
know
look
who's
up?
whoa,
shopping.
whoa,
You
Did
whoa,
you guys
whoa,
ever
whoa.
look up
Google
the
your
sex
daughter.
offenders?
Her pictures will
Google
come
her.
up.
Google her.
Google
Google
Diamond.
You
her.
gotta understand, people really don't understand the internet. You put that shit on the internet,
It's there.
it's on the internet.
Yeah,
There.
if I Google
Right
Finesse
there.
and Chill, pictures of us pop up that I
Yeah,
didn't
like
even
a
write
whole-
Finesse and Chill on.
It's on the
Google
internet.
us, by the way, people.
Y'all watch
this is
Catfish,
why-
right?
There.
Yeah.
Now Catfish will take the picture, put the picture in Google, and then find shit related to that picture.
See, that I want to learn how to do. That was
Like if
crazy.
you put in one of your IG pics, you'll see pics of you from
Sure.
Facebook or from MySpace
Sure.
back in the day.
Oh my
Even
God,
that
look
part.
at that.
I
And it
didn't
did
see
come
my-
up.
And you
Fucking
see pictures
internet.
of you from like
Girl.
2001 that you're like, oh baby, what is you doing?
I posted. I went on Google and I saw. This was years ago. This is like back on like AIM days. So you know this
yes.
is old.
Throwback.
And I used to go by a certain screen name. Not gonna fucking tell you. So I used to go by a certain screen name. I googled it just one day, just because everyone was doing it at the
Oh,
time.
I
It was
should
kind of
do
like a
that.
hype.
Google
And
my
I
old
saw
screen name.
an old school picture of me back when trucker hats were in.
Oh.
And I was like, oh
See,
my.
and I want
You had the Von Dutch on?
I sure
The
did.
Von Dutch! I had like Bond bitch shirts.
Oh my God, yes.
So, I'm just saying, a lot of people, I get a lot of shit from everyone that's like, oh, you're a mom and you never post pictures of your kid.
There's
That
a
means you don't love
reason.
her. That means that you're not.
Yeah.
No,
Or
no,
people be
no,
like, you
bitch.
wouldn't even know she's a mom.
No, that means I ain't gotta prove shit to
From
you.
her
Exactly.
Instagram.
I don't have to
That's
prove to you I
always
take care of my
fight
kid.
Is I'm protecting the shit out of my daughter,
That's
which
a
is
fact.
why you'll never, ever see,
Exactly.
you know, post on. Maybe now and then I'll post a story because at the end of the day, I'm proud of her. That's my daughter. That's my life. But I don't know what's going on behind that other side of the screen, and I don't know where that picture or video is going to end up. So before anything like that, any shiesty shit happens, I'd rather keep it all to myself.
I feel like our generation is very naive to the fact that there's a sex offender registry.
Mm-hmm.
It's an app you can download and
Literally.
literally like check your
You
block
can
before you
see
move.
exactly what's going on in your block. So to all the parents out there, definitely do think about that before you post pics of your kids in the playground
For sure.
and other things like that. You never know who's there stalking you, stalking your child, stalking your family, just waiting for the day that you send them to the park by themselves.
And while
Be
you're at it,
aware.
hop off of my dick because that's why I'm not posting her. Thank you.
This is why we have to be very, very mindful. The internet is a very, very powerful tool, and it is something that we have to protect.
Amen.
Will said we got that car.
Will wants to know what's in our
Will
future.
wants to know.
Will been bugging all night.
Will's the one
Shout
I
out
said I
to
read
Will
his heart over the
Millions.
phone.
Yes. Oh, yes. Oh, you got red for filth.
You got
Ooh.
red.
You got red.
We gotta read you,
Sir.
Will. We gotta do an update on that.
Yes. So just as a spiritual background, we are going through a lot of retrogrades with the planets right now. There's like 6 planets that are all in retrograde at the same fucking time.
Same
And
fucking
retrograde
time.
means going backwards.
Yes. So this means a lot of old issues are coming back up, whether they be relationship issues, old lessons that you didn't learn yet, maybe financial problems that happened to you before and you just didn't learn your lesson about hitting your credit limit. Now it's coming back to bite you in the ass.
Oh, we learned.
A lot. A lot of these old issues, old bad habits that you should have already let go of are tempting you or creeping back up again.
And point it back at me.
You know,
You gotta let it go.
it's,
Listen, so for those of
So-
you, retrograde is a real deal
It
thing.
is. It
This
has
is
to be
exactly-
way more
As a
than
matter of fact, I
feelings.
have a question because related around retrograde, they always say that electronics feel it the most.
Fuck yes.
Do you think that you've had more people have malfunctions within the last 2 weeks, or do you feel like shit has been messing up? Like you might have thought you saved something and it didn't. Something crashed.
Or a company charged your card twice.
Nothing electronic wise, because they always say that that's one of the biggest
or computers
things
crashing.
that happen.
Do you feel like maybe you've been getting more attitudes, or maybe you've been in a slight mood, or maybe there's things coming up?
You don't know who I am, do you? I'm the happiest nigga on the planet.
I was gonna say you're a sweetie all the time.
Not too much fucking bother me.
But you have a girl, you have a daughter, you have females in your family, you have a son. That have they been getting nasty in these last 2 weeks? Emotional
with me?
In general,
I will fucking dominatrix all of them. I will fucking no everything.
No.
Nah.
So see, maybe it's because we know.
It's because they burn the sage in their house.
Yeah, you got mad sage.
It's because they burn a lot of sage in their house.
No sage.
Telling you, retrograde.
No sage and no shade.
Bring a blessing.
The last retrograde, we were driving. You see like a car on fire. You go on Instagram, you see some other shit. We were just like,
people be in their feelings. Couples be arguing. Your best friend be ghosting you. It's just like things just be going off, and
that's
like
normal,
or
everyday
also the
occurrences.
universe removes things from your life. The universe will take the retrograde as an opportunity to cleanse your life, actually, of things that will not bring you to your higher being.
That I believe
Things
that
will
you're
fall
cleansing
apart.
yourself.
Yes, things fall apart. I spoke to someone yesterday who was like that she lost a job that she really did enjoy. You know, and it's like you have to believe that you're being aligned for something that's better.
That happened to me in the last retrograde, actually.
Yeah.
I was like, what? Like,
and it came out of nowhere.
Yeah, it really did.
Uber deleted my account out of nowhere.
See?
And won't give me a reason. And my rating was over 4.7. And I'm like, all right, but what did I do? And they're like, numerous incidents. And I'm like, what the fuck did I do? Because I'm not even a drinker. I'm way more about 420. You know, so I'm like, what did I do? Or which one of my dumbass friends did I pay an Uber for who did something stupid?
What it was.
You know, let me know, bro.
I've been told in an Uber that I smelled like weed before, and they had to open the
and
windows.
it's decriminalized in the state of New York and also New Jersey as well. You're welcome. they can't ask you to prove your medical records.
See, what they would say to me, they're like, yo, you smell loud. And they're like, I either got to put down the windows, or they're like, not for nothing, like I can't have the next rider say that my car smells like weed.
I be having parasols and body spray in my bag, $7 at TJ Maxx.
I be like, what?
that's my easy fix before I get into.
I walk in like, listen, fam, it is what it is. You're either
gonna
drive
take me or
not.
Like,
I mean, it is.
So yes, let's see what Spirit wants us to know right now. I'm probably not gonna do just one because I like for it to be like a little story.
Okay, all right.
Yes.
I'm into that.
We like to do little spreads. So everybody who's watching, I just want everybody to kind of think of a question or concern that they might have. Maybe a situation, maybe a conflict that's going on. It could be work related, love related, whatever the case may be, whatever. Just keep in mind this is a time of a lot of change. Okay, all these retrogrades and everything, nothing is set to end till January. We're finishing out the year basically learning lessons.
Right.
Those of you who made New Year's resolutions and did not stick to them, y'all gonna be hitting me up saying that shit been me in the eyes. Or you fell, you tried to quit something and you can't. For a lot of people, it's simple things, maybe smoking cigarettes. Maybe their New Year's resolution was to smoke cigarettes and now they're all aggy and they feel like they want to smoke more. You know, sometimes things link in. Humans are 70% water. So, you know, the stars and planetary alignment affect water and tides and oceans. So how can they affect large bodies of water and not affect us? That's the premise of things like astrology, tarot, whatever you want.
I can't.
Man, read the two in the front of you. It ain't nothing but niggas want y'all to get naked over here. You don't want these vibes.
Strippers to witchcraft. What can I say, baby? I'm a diverse, beautiful woman.
Right.
I am multifaceted. Get with the winning team, ho.
Let's just say that it's not. That's why I always say don't box us into a standard. Don't think, oh, she's smart, she's pretty.
Yo, a lot of strippers are getting PhDs, fam.
Okay. Oh.
Let's see what we got here. Ooh, that's a very good card. Ooh, there we go. That shadow work come to play. Excuse me as I get my little Bible. So I've actually been studying tarot for a bit now. And I have a nice little book where I keep all my notes, and it probably smells like pot, like my house does. My bad.
So good.
If I'm next to you, you'll probably smell pot. So what I like to kind of do is I like to actually read from right to left. I don't know why. Okay, no, I'm not Jewish.
I
was
read
raised
magazines
Catholic.
like that.
You read right to
I read
left?
from the back to the front.
I mean, whatever works for you, whatever gives you that
That's so
good
weird.
juju, that good
Go on.
vibe. You go with that juju.
Mm-hmm.
So the first that we have is the devil. Okay, and my cards are hollow, so I don't know if the camera's gonna be able to pick it up too well. But
It's like a Pokemon
we got this
hologram.
guy. Yes, girl. We got this guy, and he's here. He has one hand up to the earth and one hand down to the earth, symbolizing your will and your planning, your manifestations.
Okay.
So it's like you're asking the universe for blessings, but you have a hand down because you keep yourself grounded and you know everything you have to do to get there. The devil symbolizes bondage.
Wow.
All right.
Speaking of bacon,
So, that goes to speak to us about the things, the bad habits, or
letting go of habits.
perhaps
And that's what
bad
you've been
spirits of
saying.
the flesh. Perhaps some of us have been a bit too thirsty this summer. And we're getting a bit too comfortable in the sins of the flesh. And maybe we're becoming codependent with others, whether it be sexually or emotionally.
I am shook.
Yeah.
That shook it. Shook it.
Too
Shook
nice.
it.
That's us, like,
But-
holding on to habits, basically.
Maybe the whole life is just starving a little too much. It's very much about control. It's very much about you standing in your own way, and it's also about embracing your shadow, embracing your imperfections, recognizing your flaws, knowing, is this something I can fix? Is this something I can move forward with? How deep is this issue that I'm having? Is it with someone else? Is it just within myself? But it's bondage. It's something that's keeping you in chains. It's something that's holding you back from achieving what you want to achieve.
Karmic cycle.
I
Those
feel that.
karmic cycles that we need to break shit is real.
Yes.
So the devil's a very, very powerful card, and it shows a man and a woman that symbolizes a balance or a lack thereof. So definitely pay attention to where you're lacking balance in your life.
All right, first of all, what are you doing? You reading one of them or you reading both of them?
This is for everyone,
pulled
basically.
4.
She pulled 4 cards and
For
told everybody to think of something in your head. And this reading will resonate with everyone's question, whatever you read in your head.
How can you read people that are not here?
That's true. It's
Channeling
true.
energy.
It
My
is.
saints are strong.
Like
Ashe.
what she's saying with the devil card and breaking old habits, that's what's going on in the world in this retrograde shit that we're talking about.
Am I being an asshole if I play devil's advocate while you're doing
by
this?
all means, and we still got 3 more cards. So go ahead.
Because, like, I'm not saying I don't believe, but I don't believe in that type of stuff because everybody's going through some shit right now. I'm the only happy nigga on the planet.
Right.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So when you say that, of course somebody's gonna be like, oh shit, yeah, last month, I was walking down the street and I lost $3.
Right.
Oh, must be the
Tarot
devil
cards
shit.
are meant to give people a different perspective, a different way at looking at something, at whatever it may be. For some people, it can be something very serious, like they want to know if they're good health-wise. They're worried about that. Sleep apnea is very common
They
nowadays.
said you keep asking questions, she's gonna put a spell on you to make your penis small. They said she's gonna put a penis shrinking.
For the record, I don't know how to do that. My exes would have been screwed. The devil can be about embracing your shadow and using your dark side to get you where you need to be. Maybe you're ignoring something that you think is bad about you, but it's actually something good.
Right.
For people that can be called shisty or greedy or money hungry, or you're shisty, you're greedy, you don't want to lend people money. Shit, maybe you'd be a bomb ass business person.
Okay.
Maybe you'd be a bomb ass loan shark on the block.
It works differently.
Things can work different for different people. The next card we have is the Ten of Swords, and it's a very dramatic
You
card.
know what's so dope? Just me looking at this
Yes.
before you even say it, is that even with you reading it this way, in my
You
mind,
see
I'm
the
reading
story.
it this way, and it's still going to be the same thing. Because it's still going to be, you ain't getting nothing good until you let go of those habits.
until you fix that bondage issue you got
Yep.
going on. I say.
So for the record, the devil doesn't necessarily mean evil.
Bad.
No,
No.
not at all.
No.
It could be a
A lot
Capricorn.
of-
If this is a
It
person
could be
reading
something.
Devil is a Capricorn card too. Like
The
if I was
ram.
reading
He
you-
has rams.
I want you to see this card.
He has
because
rams. It could also
sometimes
symbolize
That
people
looked
are
like the
Taurus.
Yeah,
nigga
all
from
true.
the
That
Avengers.
Taurus,
If you pay
hard-headed
attention,
stuff.
When I used to see that card, I
it's
said, oh, that's
two
my
people
ex.
being chained together. right? And you see the devil, like she said, reaching up, and then one hand is reaching
No,
down.
Will, the devil is
So
not
it's almost
good.
like
what
telling
we're
you,
saying
like,
is
I
when
do
the
not
devil,
worship the devil.
when the
Into
devil card
something.
comes up, it's
It's
not
not always
scary
bad.
and it's
You
not
do
bad.
better,
It's
but
telling
you still
you
have that one hand reaching down. to
break
your own
habit.
shit. So it's
It could also be something that people think
So
is
it's a
bad
50-50
about you,
thing.
but it's actually
It is,
something
depending
good.
on if you're
Right.
ready to let
You
that
know,
hand
it
go
could
up
like
there
being
instead of
shiesty,
staying
being
down
greedy,
there.
you'd be a bomb
Okay.
ass business.
Because you know we all been taught the devil is just
Absolutely.
bad. There's
I
nothing
grew up
good
Catholic.
about the devil.
Absolutely. I
We've
grew
never
up
heard
Catholic
that.
1,000 times.
Actually, it's Thor. That dude looked like that card looked like the dude from Thor. So
Yes, yes. It's all about that. It's all about perception.
Mm-hmm.
The next card is super dramatic.
Ten of Swords.
The Ten of Swords, and we call it a figure. We don't like to say male or female because it could be either. They're laying face
Open
down,
up the-
face in the dirt with 10 knives, with 10 long ass swords stuck in the back.
stick your hand out further.
So it's a very, 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 very dramatic
Right.
card.
I used to get that card a lot, and they'll say it's like your burden's getting the best of you.
This card is telling me everybody's tired.
Yeah.
Everybody's tired and everybody's getting sick and tired. Alright?
You tired of being
You
sick and
tired of being sick and tired. That's what I think of as a Ten of Swords. The swords tend to symbolize thoughts, conflict. It symbolizes air. Okay,
This actually
Air is always
came up
around
for
us.
me last
Air?
reading. Yeah.
Like air signs.
Air is all around us. Air is what we cannot avoid, and air is what we need. So the sword symbolizes true conflict, things that we need to grow, basically.
And wait, and for those that don't know, what is the air signs?
Air signs are Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius, which is
And she's a Libra.
Libra.
squad.
Libra, y'all.
So the Ten of Swords, he's face down, he's tired, he's sick and tired. The number 10 symbolizes that a cycle has been completed, Ache. So hopefully this is a sign that whatever's burdening you, whatever's making you feel heavy emotionally or physically should be lifted soon.
Right.
Keep in mind that the
That
first
karmic-
card was the devil,
So
meaning
that karmic
there is something
cycle-
you need to break, okay,
Right.
in
Something
order
you need
to
to
get
let
to
go
this
of.
number 10,
Yes,
okay?
yes.
There's something that has to be cut. Is this somebody? Is this something? What is it that's not
It's
serving
the
you?
cycle. This is the end of the karmic cycle, and you can't get to the end of a karmic cycle
Who are you
until
tired?
you give up
Exactly.
the old habits.
Who are you tired of arguing with? What are you tired of arguing about? Are you tired of arguing with yourself? Is there something that you just keep on arguing with yourself about and just going in circles? This is the time to clear it out, Ache. The next card is the Six of Wands or Rods. And this card is a very happy card, Ache. This card has a lot of meaning for me personally. I love this guy. So he's on a white horse.
Is that Kevin? Is that
Yeah,
Kevin?
that's fucking
Is that
Kevin,
Kevin on a goddamn horse?
If Kevin was on a card, that would definitely be Kevin.
This guy is very happy. He is just on a very happy journey. There is a wreath in the card. Wreaths, garland. If you look at ancient Rome,
Yeah.
they wore those things when they won,
Yeah.
when they had a victory. Ache.
That's like
For those of you who
Julius
didn't know,
Caesar
'cause I
just
didn't.
rolled up. Yeah.
Yes, yes. So definitely anticipate a journey, a successful journey, one that you're meant to take, one that's meant to make you a better person. Okay? Is this career-wise? Have you been thinking of applying for a promotion? Maybe now's the time.
Could that mean a knight in shining armor coming in?
Hey, you know what? If you've been thinking that all men aren't shit, and then you pulled this one, and
then he come with
I
that
would say
wreath.
maybe somebody finna come in to change your point of view.
Mm.
This is all about a journey. This is all about a new perspective. Ache. This is all about new paths opening up. This card is a very, very good omen. But please be advised that there's a lot of work before you get here.
You gotta do this and this.
You gotta do the work first. The last and final card
That's
is
my favorite.
We're both like, it's
the
one.
Ace of Wands. I'm so happy to see this motherfucker. I got no idea.
What?
The wands. Yes, God. Yes, God. Some people call them wands. Some people call them rods.
Whenever you
Yeah.
see this, just do a sigh of relief.
Yes,
in a
God.
sense.
Amen. Rods are really all about things that spark your creativity and your passion. So think of like a magic wand and that spark.
Like you were just saying, your creative hour.
Exactly. This is a very, very good sign for those of you that are very creative, that want to start new creative adventures. Actually, this is great because the swords is all about what are you passionate about and what gets you up in the morning. This is very, very good about whatever that passion might be. And the number 6 is also very, very good. It's an even number. It's a very stable number. We like seeing that number.
See, and most people would think that 6 is a bad number.
No,
and they don't want to see that.
666 is
seeing
bad.
him with the Ace of Wands, Ache, it's basically a thumbs up. The guy has a thumbs up, and he's holding on to a rod or a sword, and he has a thumbs up. Okay.
And I like to look at it like the universe is holding the thumbs up because it's like a hand out of the wind.
Thank you. That universe is giving you that thumbs up from the high heavens. It's telling you you're good. You got the green light. Okay.
Right.
If you were wondering if something was the right time or if you should do something, this is your green light.
Don't do that
because
shit.
You got this guy.
Ew.
These two together is time. That new journey, that new start, turn it all the way the fuck up. Your energy, your vibe, turn it all the way the fuck up. It's the time to go forth and prosper. The universe is giving us blessings, but telling you to stay humble and get your shit together first.
Exactly.
I hope you received this message with love and light. Woo!
Yeah! See? And like you said, whether you read it this way or this way, it's the same meaning. You can't get this until all of these swords, you embrace it, pull them bitches out, and let go.
Look, this is a hard card.
I always get that
tough.
card.
When I
yo.
first got
that
this
and the
card,
hermit, they were like, "You're doing it again. You're doing it again."
This card is also very for
That's
people
me in my house.
Yes, for people that experience like mental illness and depression, and this card is huge. This symbolizes like you've been through a lot of shit. There's a lot of baggage you're carrying. There's a lot of stuff from your past that shit. There's a lot of cycles that have to be broken.
Right, and you're letting it hold you down instead of just pulling them out.
Instead of moving on to a new journey and opening up a new door. Yeah. Fear can be very, very powerful in making decisions for us. Do not let your fears make decisions for you.
Have you ever heard of Amber Khan?
Oh no, tell me about Amber
Okay,
Khan.
we're gonna tell you. Okay, guys, we're gonna have our own
Amber
girl
Khan. That's a strong name.
Yes. Wait till I show you.
Amber's a very powerful stone.
She's a tarot card reader. Her channel is called The Quietest Revolution.
We're gonna get into this in
We'll
our
tell you.
own
We're gonna have our
time.
own little time. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure you guys follow our girl. Tell them your name one more time, or you can go on our Instagram, and we definitely have tagged her so you guys can follow her.
Yes.
Let them know where they can find you and your website.
Yes. I am the illustrious LIANA Gabrielle. I am a model, witch, and dominatrix.
She a witch.
You can find my Instagram, LIANA Gabrielle X3, LIANA GABRIELLE X3. That's my IG. My website is LianaGabrielleX3.com. I blog. We have Mental Health Mondays, Political Tuesdays, Witchy Wednesdays, Thirsty Thursdays, and Beauty Filled Fridays.
And we're so fucking here for it.
Will,
so
did you hear that?
Supporting her.
Will, her name is LIANA.
And that's the first other LIANA I ever met in my life. It's hysterical.
This is awesome. We're definitely gonna have her come back whenever she can, and I think we just made a new friend because we definitely would love to come out, hang with you in the city.
Yes, yes.
Have some adventures, shoot some fun stuff.
Yes.
Make sure you guys tell a friend that we're here on Wednesdays now. No more Finesse Mondays. It's now Finesse Wednesdays, or like B likes to call it.
What Wednesday? But today it was Witchy Wednesdays, all right?
Yes, all of my battle rap community, if you guys are traveling this weekend, I want y'all to take care of our Uncle Rob, because don't let me find out that something happened to Uncle Rob while he was out of town.
Because we gonna get you, all right?
Everybody that's going out to Summer Madness, I hope you guys enjoy your weekend. The following week is RBE, right? RBE is not till the end of the month?
18th, August 18th.
The 18th. So I'm going to be home watching from pay-per-view this time. We're going to sit this one out.
Something big is going to happen that day.
Yeah?
That's another big one. 8/18/18.
That's my daughter's day.
That's gonna be another.
Yeah,
big
Murder
day.
Mook is making his return. That's what's happening that day.
Is that what it is? Do you think he's gonna shake shit up?
Let me show y'all one more witchy thing that happened.
Yes.
Look at who's the first person that came up on my Instagram.
Amber Khan. She's in San Fran.
Right now
Shut
she
up.
is.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yo, that's
Hello.
crazy.
Hashtag get you a Kevin.
Get you a Kevin. Hashtag get you a Kevin.
Hashtag this better be a Kevin. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you guys next week.
Awesome.
We love you. Make sure you guys follow us. Make sure you guys share the show.
Yes.
Make sure you guys subscribe to 15 minutes of Mother effing Fame. How about that?
Exactly. And now we're about to go get our 420 on. So see you
Yes.
guys next
Bye,
week.
guys.
Bye.